Welcome to the music lessons. This is lesson 9. We're going to do 3 songs in this lesson. One is the Irish Jig. The second one is the Ants Come Marching, one by one. And the third one is the Monaghan, which is an Irish jig as well. So if you want to learn those songs specifically, you can go to a help video created for each one. This is the foundation video. And we're going to go through the scale, through the echo, through the jam, and then something called song cipher, which is the keys to the hard bits. And it's intended to help create this base from which you can learn any song. And so let's jump right in. Like last lesson, this lesson is in E minor. Okay, so we're going to do our scale, whole notes, half notes, quarters, and eighths 2 times. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, rest, prepare. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So that's our scale. In this lesson, you can apply something I mentioned, I believe, in lesson 7. And that is, you find a tune that you really like. And once you learn it, you come back to it and just play it once a day. And the idea is, from day to day and week to week, because you've repeated it, you can play it faster and faster and faster. So there is this breakthrough moment where you can play faster and all of a sudden it feels normal. To get there sooner, the scale is designed to help you do that. And when we get to lesson 10, I'm going to show you 16th notes, which is a group of 4. All right? So let's go on to the echo. In the echo, we're going to start doing echoes that are pulled right from the songs that we're learning. Okay? So you kind of do double duty there. So the way this works is I play first, and then there's silence where you echo back to me what I played. Okay? All right, I'll start, and then you follow. Okay, so you noticed we went faster, right? I'm trying to get you to be able to grab musical sentences now. When we started our echo, it was like 3 notes. And now it's 6 or 7 notes. And the idea is that you're starting to hear these in your mind's ear or with your mental voice, and then you sing them as you play them. So a way of strengthening your echo is to make sure that you're engaging the singing voice inside your head, not just trying to do it mechanically or from what you see. You know, it's okay. Just so you know, you can download this music and you can be looking at it all the time. Some people, what they do is they develop their ability to see something on the page and then play it. And then down the road, they start to hear it. That's kind of how I was. I started reading, and then I had the Suzuki method for violin, which is all by ear. So I sort of had this mix and mash. And you'll notice in these lessons, I'm trying to help people of both persuasions, the ones who read notes and also the ones who play by ear. So if you play by ear, there's a set of videos just for you to help you learn how to do that easier. Okay, so be aware that that's there for you for all 12 lessons. All right, so we need to do our solfege, our do, re, mi stuff. Okay, so I play and then I'm going to sing the solfege. So you can sing out loud if you can, or if you want to sing inside your head, that works too. Okay. Do, do, re, re, me, re. Me, re, fa, sol, sol. So, me, fa, re. Me, re, do. The next part is in a different key, and that's why the do, re, mi stuff changes, okay? La, do, so, do, fa. Fa, mi, fa, re, so, fa, mi. Mi, do, so, do, mi. Re, ti, so, ti, re. And just a couple things you'll notice. Those of you who are really sensitive to high notes and low notes, you will have figured out that I jumped the octave sometimes to put it in the place where I could sing it. You know, that takes a little figuring out. You know, you start and then you realize, oh, I can't sing down those lower notes. Over time, especially if you're an instrumentalist, you'll start to do a lot of that in your head. And when you do it in your head, you realize you can sing as high as you want or as low as you want, right? Way beyond what your voice can do. In the beginning, it's really good to match it with your voice because that muscular sensation, those memories, help you when you go to do it in a song. All right, let's go on to our jam. So with the jam, what I'm mostly doing here is not so much new as it is new notes, as it is a different feel. So this is the feel of the jig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bum, 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 bum. 1, 2. So 6/8 time is multimeter, or not multimeter, compound meter, which means you can feel it by the 8th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's a slower song, you can also feel it in 2 big beats. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, triple it. So that 6/8 feel is the feeling of a jig. And since we have 2 jigs in this lesson, that's what we're going to focus on. When you do the jam, remember you can slow it down, speed it up, do whatever you want. And you can experiment without having to worry about right and wrong notes to get the feel of that 6/8. So that's what we're trying to accomplish in the jam this lesson. All right, so the first one sounds like this. And then you could go on if you want. The thing is, you want to have those slow notes and in your head be able to split them in threes. And that's what you're learning to do. The second bit, right? And the third bit, basically same thing, different notes. Okay, and the last one, it's the long, short, long, short, long. Okay, all of those are very common in jigs, and you'll start to get the feel for them. Do keep in mind, especially if you're seeing this lesson for like the first time, the jam is designed that you go on and do your own. You don't really play with me. You can if you want, but go on, make up your own. So you get off the page, and then you can focus on the rhythms particularly to get the feeling of a jig, feeling of a reel. Okay? All right. For the song cipher, what I'm doing here, I'm kind of showing you the spread out fingering. And the spread out fingering lets you play through these passages, especially Irish jig and stuff, where you don't have to move your hand around all the time. So basically, the first one, we have, I'll just back this up a little bit. We have, say, D position. 5 notes, right? And I've shown you how you can spread the finger out, right? The top 2 go up 1 scale degree, right? Now that's a different chord. So what we do in this bit is we actually spread the fingers one more time. 2, 4, 5. That's a real common fingering. If you can't reach, you can just kind of tuck it in here and then spread your hand over. Try not to whip your wrist too much. You want to cover as many notes as you can, but the power of that is the slow bit. Right? And eventually you learn to play fast there. And then in the songs, they come in a different order, but the letter name notes are the same. So, okay, and then that can be broken down into how the Irish jig goes. So this fingering can save you a lot. And when you're trying to play a jig fast, you have to be able to kind of have your hands spread out, and you're not hopping around a bunch. Your hand stays, and the fingers do their deal, but you're not flying up and down. So you learn to have your fingers do the work. When you're playing fast, it's like in the fingers. You'll figure that out. That's one of the deals about doing a song day after day after day. By the 6th day or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, I don't have to work nearly as hard, right? And you start to rely on your ear. You hear the song in your head, and it comes out your fingers. And when you make that connection, you're like in the land of milk and honey, and it's just the coolest thing because you can play so many songs, and you're not working quite so hard. All right, hard earned, but worth it. Okay, that bottom line is about chords. When you do The Ants Come Marching In, you've got chords that change. So if I isolate that left hand, the top finger goes up 1, bottom 2 fingers stay the same. Okay, now here, the second bit, we actually trade out that third finger for the second finger. The reason you do that is because there are patterns that come back. And if you don't constantly change, it's actually a little bit easier. And then the last one, we go from a D natural to a D sharp. And the middle finger comes on the F sharp, which is in the key signature. So it's here, then your third finger is already there, and you slide the pinky finger up, right? So as printed, it would sound like this. I'm doing the slow and then twice as fast for each of these. Now I like to repeat. Okay. So most commonly, people like to go right to the song. And so learning those left hand changes, they're going to do it right as they're trying to play the right hand and figure out the rhythm and make the song go and sound good, all that. So they're stacking like 6 things to figure out all at the same time. If you pull back on the one that is the trickiest, say you're trying to figure out how to do this to this. Okay. If you do it with a back and forth, slow and then twice as fast, release, you let go, release, release, and then you may not get it the first day, but if you're consistent in your approach, in other words, every time you come to a hard bit, you're willing to do it slow, twice as fast, back and forth. I still have to like hit the brakes, get myself to slow down, and remember that the quickest way to learn this is to break it down like that. In fact, last night I was practicing, and I get in about 5 minutes in, I'm getting all agitated, and I remind myself, hey kid, you don't know it as well as you think, just back it up, right? And I broke it down, played this passage slow, played it twice as fast, got singing in my ear, boom, that was that. So I do the things that I'm sharing with you now, and they really, really work. Over time, what happens is that your muscles say, oh yeah, you did this before, and then you did this before that, and before that, right? And so you want me to learn how to do this, right? The muscles start to respond sooner because you're starting to build up this tool that you use, the same tool each time. So these lessons with the scale and the echo and the jam, that bit, just so you know, is my hope is that you spend maybe 4 minutes at the beginning to start to build your foundation, and then all the rest of the time just play the songs. I know that if you give those 4 minutes, you're going to be so much further ahead. And that's why I really felt I could do this online. You know, I could put that in a video and you could see it and you could do it and prove it to yourself because it's the same. And in repeating it, you'll teach your muscles to do that and you'll learn really well. So thank you for joining me. Next are the song videos. I play it at performance speed so you feel the song the way that it is, you know, and then a slower version so you can practice with it, the duet part, and then the duet part by itself. Thanks.